Hello, my name is Chef Carl, and today I'll be preparing for you a lobster roulade served with sauteed pumpkin, cherry tomatoes, and a Scotch Bonnet Beurre Blanc. Here we have our ingredients. We have our lobster mousse that has already been processed, some steamed pumpkin, scallion, butter, onion, some fresh parsley. We have our lobster tail here that we're going to be stuffing the roulade in, some pear tomatoes, a lobster tail for garnish, and additional ingredients here, salt and pepper. I'm going to start by seasoning my lobster tail, right? I'm just going to use some fresh cracked pepper, right? Some salt, and some vegetable oil. Let's quickly toss this around. Right, and because we want it to hold nice and firm in the when we actually sear it, we're going to wrap it in a bit of cling wrap first. Right, so we keep it nice and firm. We poach it to make sure that it is nice and solid. So we're going to gently just wrap the flesh over the mousse itself. Make sure that we go all the way around. We pull it back a little bit because we want to make sure that the cling wrap itself is nice and firm over the tail itself. And we just wrap it by squeezing the ends. Alright, so here we have a nice firm tail. Alright, so we're just going to use additional piece of cling wrap just to tie the end of it. And this will ensure that it holds very firm while you're actually cooking it. Right, you don't want it to pull apart. Remove the excess cling. So here we have it rolled, and now we're actually going to poach it. Right, and because we're going to be doing two different cooking methods, by steaming it and searing it afterward, this only requires like about 5 or 7 minutes or so, and then it will be perfect. So I'm going to be adding some pumpkin to our pan here. Right, you want to get this a nice saute on it. At the same time while we're cooking, we're adding some salt and pepper. Pepper first, and some salt. So we want to get a nice little flavor in it, right? And then we add in our tomatoes. Right, and we just want to sear them a little bit so they get nice and glossy, and at the same time have some sheen on them. It doesn't take very long to cook. Again, we want to season with salt and pepper. Right, we're adding some fresh chopped scallion, some parsley, and some fresh thyme. Right, because we want to bolster the flavor of that dish. Pumpkin, just a little bit of white wine. And then we're going to be adding a little bit of cream. We're going to start our Scotch Bonnet Beurre Blanc in the meantime. It's a bit of garlic, some onions, and the pepper itself. We're going to add in some white wine to this. Right? And what we're making is something that's called a sec, S-E-C, and we're basically reducing it till it's almost dry. Some cream. So a little pinch of salt and some black pepper. So here we have our tomato, nice and ready, a little bit of charred on the outside, so that means it's cooked properly. As part of the presentation for the dish, I'm going to be using the lobster tail as one of the garnish. So I'm actually going to be just sauteing that a little bit in some oil, and just to get a nice sheen on it. So here we have the tail that has already been poached, right? And this is to ensure that it actually holds the shape itself. Depending on how I want to do the presentation, I have one that is fully extended and one that's about like medium. So here I have the cream. It's almost dry, so it's pretty much time to add the butter to it now. Just add some fresh parsley. So we're going to be removing our lobster tail. I'm going to be removing the plastic from the lobster tail itself. Right, this is not to cook it for any long time because it's pretty much poached all the way through. It's just to give it a nice color and a nice sheen on it. So I'm going to start the plate up by first using my pumpkin. I'm going to just use a ring mold to put the pumpkin in. Based on the size of the dish, I think the smaller tail might be more appropriate for it. Some sauce on the plate. Just a little lime wedge. Right. And just some fresh parsley over the top of it. So here we have our rainforest lobster roulade. It's served with sauteed pumpkin and cherry tomatoes along with a Scotch bonnet beurre blanc.